Hi, this is Mr. Mullaney. Good morning. This is a quick recap about our lesson about politics in 1790s America. This deck of slides was prepared by my student teacher, Mr. Colin Boyle. Thank you, Mr. Boyle. So, Alexander Hamilton, new Secretary of the Treasury under President Washington. He sees all this foreign debt that's accumulated thanks to the Revolutionary War, most of this owed to our ally France, most of it in the hands of the individual states. Do recall they were very autonomous under the Articles of Confederation, which was the system of government while the revolution was being fought. He says we need to pay this debt in order to have confidence in our nation. So step one, he gets the national government to assume responsibility for all the state debts, consolidated into one big ball of debt. The South doesn't like this. This is a bad deal for the South. Most of the debt had been accumulated by northern states, such as Massachusetts and New York. Why would Southerners want their federal tax dollars to pay for that? Hamilton gives them something in exchange. He says, you agree to assumption, Southerners, and we'll put the capital in the South. Washington, D.C. at the time straddled the border of Maryland and Virginia, two southern states below the Mason-Dixon line. And so that was the agreement. The Virginia part of D.C. has since been cleaved off back to Virginia, neither here nor there. So in 1790, Congress agrees to assumption. Step two, gain the confidence of the people. Hamilton wanted to pay the debt back slowly and pay it back to merchants and wealthy people who would then be invested in the outcome and the strength of the United States government. Step three, get the money. 2 steps, tariffs, tax on imported goods. Another step, a whiskey tax. I'll bet farmers don't like that. Tariffs, how they work. They are just taxes on anything imported. What they do is they drive the price up of imported goods. That makes people want to buy domestic American goods instead of the cloth from England, which now costs extra. And by the way, a little bonus, you get money from that. Okay. Interpretations of the Constitution, 2 emerge at this time. One is the loose construction. Hamilton saying, look, it's parameters, it's a framework, but the government should do what it needs to do. Jefferson says, no, it's a strict interpretation. The government is limited by the Constitution. We can only do what is explicitly stated in the Constitution. All right, Whiskey Rebellion. These farmers up by, say, Pittsburgh, they don't like it. They start to arm themselves. Hamilton says, we need to put down this rebellion. We need to show that this is a real, solid government. And so these farmers who couldn't pay the whiskey tax, they are met with force. 12,000 men are sent to Pittsburgh to stop the rebellion. Most flee before there is any fighting, and the precedents are set that Washington as president would enforce the laws, and that if you want change in this country, you can't do it through armed conflict. You have to do it through peaceful constitutional means. 2 parties start to form. The Federalists, they were for the strong central government. They're led by Hamilton. Washington did not like political parties. He did not want political parties to be a thing. He didn't want that. However, he really does side with the Federalists in the way he operates, functions as chief executive. He was for a strong central government. Jefferson leads those that are opposed to the Federalists, who want a weak central government and stronger state governments. They are the Jeffersonian Republicans, later become the Republicans. And that's a recap of our lesson on politics in the 1790s. Thank you very much for that deck of slides, Mr. Boyle.